Yeah, I've been having an argument with D4 Sean, and it's come from my basic idea of responsibility. And so, for example, what is the responsibility of the taxpayer for the way that their taxes are spent? Because, for example, I feel responsible for some of the death in Iraq. Now, I opposed that war, and I'm not a knee-jerk pacifist either. I opposed it after much serious thought. And I went in the street and on the record and whatnot as against the war before the war even started. But I feel responsible because I pay taxes, and these taxes are going to this war. So I feel that I am somewhat responsible. And to me, this is what motivates me to really care a lot about this, more so, say, than if some third party country is attacking some other country, in which case I may have an opinion, but it's not quite the same thing because I don't feel that I am perpetrating the crime against which I complain. Now, I know I do have a high standard of responsibility. I have a view that usually in a situation, blame can be, spread around. And often when we're saying that somebody is fully to blame, we're really saying that, well, they're just a huge majority to blame. They're 95% to blame. That 5 or 10% that is still something that I've done, whether it's coddling them or whatever it is, that's the percent that I can do something about. So, yes, this feeling, this burden of responsibility might crush other people, but it doesn't crush me. It's just a matter of being realistic. Now, he's also accused me of blaming the victim, as though I'm blaming the person that gets raped for the rape. No. We're talking about if you are threatened with rape or else do this crime to somebody else. We're talking about when you are threatened and that threat is used to coerce your help in perpetrating some other wrong. And what is your responsibility there? If somebody says they're going to rape you if you don't rape someone else, what is your responsibility if you go and rape that other person? Are you a rapist or not? Well, you are a rapist, and you were turned to it by maybe a Faustian bargain. Maybe I can even understand in some situations. In that one, probably not. But if you were told, hey, we're going to rape you if you don't steal this bag of rice, I might say, well, I understand why you made that decision. You still did steal a bag of rice, and you have to take responsibility for it. But, comparing those two things, I'm probably pretty understanding. But if you were threatened to join some organized crime organization, or to harm somebody else or to rape somebody else, no, I'm not particularly forgiving. And the point is that in none of these situations do I really have to be forgiving about it. I blame the people manipulating into that situation even more. See, things are not black and white to me. So it's not because some of the blame falls on us, the taxpayers, even those of us that have opposed the war. That doesn't mean that I don't blame, say, George Bush even more. I still blame them. That's the point. The fact that the person that's only a little bit responsible is somewhat responsible does not mean that the people that are a lot responsible are not responsible. That wouldn't make sense at all. So, I know this is a high standard, but, this is reality. We make real decisions, and sometimes they're bad decisions, like between, getting harmed or having to harm somebody else. But in the end, you need to look at the crime that you are being coerced into doing and decide if you can live with that. I can live with it, but it does also weigh on me enough that I continue to care what our policy in Iraq is, for example, because if we continue to cause havoc there, I feel somewhat responsible for that. And I think this is the strong way to live. I think this is the way that we all should try to live and find our own responsibilities. There's too much blaming of other people and thinking, oh, I can wash my hands. I spoke out against this, so I can wash my hands. Yeah, I'm still paying for it, but I spoke out against it. I'm sorry, that only goes, so far. And it doesn't really absolve you of responsibility for the things you do. So, the example that I'm interested in is, okay, yeah, what if somebody is threatened